Hello everyone, I'm Mario Armani from Armani Realty, and I'm here with a friend of mine, Sarika from Luxe Home Staging, and we're at one of my upcoming listings at 243 Betty Ann in Toronto, and we're going to be staging this property. Sarika, thank you so much for being a part of this video.
Thank you for having me here today.
No problem at all. So the reason why Sarika is here, this particular property, the homeowner is putting it on the market. He contacted me to sell the property, and after inspection, there are a lot of empty rooms and there's a lot of spaces that don't quite seem finished. So one of the requirements that I felt for this particular property was that staging was a must. This is a $3 million plus property, so I contacted Sarika and she's gonna talk a little bit about what staging entails and what she's gonna do to this particular property. So, floor is yours.
So staging in general, there's a lot of things that go into it. Essentially, my job here today is to identify all the things that could potentially break the sale. And some of the ways that we do staging is by depersonalizing, decluttering the space, correcting furniture placement, and we also bring in new furniture pieces to complement the rooms, to highlight the focal points and key selling features. So a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot more to staging than just that. We also take a look at things like lighting, we take a look at the paint color, we take a look at the curb appeal, also how things look in the backyard, and we address everything from front to back to get the property ready for the market.
Definitely a lot of great points. I think that the curb appeal aspect is one of the things that I've actually noticed that a lot of stagers don't really address. So the fact that you do that is something very important, because that is the first thing that people see when they arrive there. So we're gonna go behind the scenes, guys. We're gonna let Sarika and her team do her thing, and I'm gonna kind of supervise, make sure that they're on track.
Of course.
I have no doubt they're gonna do a great job. So let's go let them do their thing and take it away.
All right, let's
do
go.
it. All right, guys, so the transformation is complete. Sarika and her team did an incredible job with this property. So let's go inside and check it out.
Thank you, let's go.
Wow, Sarika, honestly, this doesn't even look like the same room. Unbelievable.
Good, I'm glad. So if you remember, originally this was an office space. What we really wanted to do for this space was address all the different focal points that are here. Okay. If you take a look over here, we've got this gorgeous window. Over here, we've got the fireplace. And then on that side, you've got a great view of the dining room. And from here, you can see the rest of the house.
You can kind of see the kitchen from here as well.
Exactly. So we created a seating area that addresses all the different focal points. So regardless of where you're sitting, you can appreciate what this room has to offer.
And I love how you can kind of see this as like a conversation area. You can kind of see how you would interact with other people, and it looks really good. Usually when I've seen them, I've seen the chairs one right beside each other, but seeing this like in person, it really makes me appreciate the space a lot more.
One of the other things that we brought in here were fresh flowers. Okay. So now, Mario, for our luxury listings, we like to use a lot of fresh flowers because we feel that makes a great connection with buyers, right? You immediately feel the flowers.
Plus it makes that room pop, right?
Exactly, the colors, it's vibrant, right? And another thing that we also did was bring in magazines. So actually, Mario, I did a little bit of research into the type of buyers that are shopping in this area.
Oh, fantastic.
So a lot of the props that we've used in our staging today kind of appeal to those types of buyers. So even our magazine selection is based on the buyers that would be walking through this space. So again, that would be something that they would see and immediately have a connection.
This is, I feel, the attention to detail that I would say your company places as opposed to other companies. I have used other stagers in the past and they've done a great job, but I don't think they've ever gone to the extreme of saying, okay, we're gonna check out what other properties in the areas are doing, what they're listing for, what that demographic is, and apply that part of staging to the actual home. So that's actually fantastic. Definitely one of the, like I said before, attention to detail that Luxe Home Staging does for my clients. So why don't you lead us into the other area of the house?
Here's the dining room. And as you can see, we haven't done quite a bit in the dining room. We're using a lot of the furniture pieces that are already existing here.
Okay.
But what we did do is scale back a lot of the extra pieces that were inside of the hutch over here and as well on the table. And the reason why we did that was so that the room itself would stand out. It's more of a less is more approach.
Fantastic. Yeah, I noticed that before there was a lot of cups all over and it did seem a little bit cluttered, so it looks a lot more clean and sleek.
So here's the family room. And as you can see, we used a lot of the existing furniture that was here.
Yes.
All we did was scale back on pieces in here so that it kind of lightens and brightens the space again.
More simplifying the look.
Yes.
So one of the I actually noticed that when you guys were figuring out what goes in here, you guys were like, it took you almost like half an hour to kind of play around, moving the shelves up and down. So I think these are kind of like the little things that the public kind of walks into a room and says, wow, that looks beautiful. But they don't really realize the amount of detail that you and your company went in and basically shuffled everything around and tried one thing, tried the other thing. So I was really impressed by that actually, even though it's something very minimal, right?
Yeah, our challenge was to restore symmetry here as well as minimizing the top heavy look. There were a lot of larger pieces at the top and there were lighter pieces at the bottom. So we kind of switched that out so that the top looks lighter and the bottom is heavy. The bottom pieces anchor the rest of the shelving unit.
And everything now is balanced, as you can see, so it's perfect. So looks very good.
And then the table over here, same thing. We just scaled back on some of the pieces to create a nice visual flow around so that people could move around and for it to look like there's a lot of space around here.
Exactly, looks great. Tell us what you did with the kitchen, because the kitchen here, I do see it didn't really need much, but I noticed that almost everything is gone.
We really wanted to highlight the selling features in this kitchen, right? And we really wanted the kitchen to stand out more than props in here. And all we did was, again, just take away all the clutter. We removed everything from atop the counters. We added a few decor pieces to kind of highlight the corners. And just again, just really focus on the construction as opposed to what we're placing in here to make it look nice and pretty.
I think after you removed all these things, the kitchen was a gorgeous kitchen before. I just feel that it's so much more elegant now.
Yes.
Just because it's so much more simple and just subtle. I didn't notice these light fixtures as much as I do now, so it's something very interesting.
The next space that I really focused on is this breakfast area.
Okay.
Originally, the space was empty, and when it was empty, we couldn't visualize how much room we actually had here to put a table. It looked small. One of the things that we had to consider when designing this area were the two rooms that are already existing and what was happening in those two rooms. Particularly the family room, we've got this oversized sofa over here that kind of takes up a lot of the space when it comes to flow of traffic in and around between these two rooms. We needed to have space for people to walk around here to really appreciate the windows again and also to be able to access this room from the side, right?
Gotcha.
So that's the reason why I went with a round table, and I think it also breaks up the two rooms. It kind of separates the two rooms because it's a different shape.
Aesthetically, I like round tables much better, and because you walk into the house and this is kind of like the first thing you see, it definitely makes it makes it really pop, right? So I really like it. Sarika, honestly, you've done a phenomenal job. I can't wait to get this property on the market. I can't wait to photograph it next week and basically show it to some potential buyers. If it wasn't for you, I don't think this place would have looked. It was beautiful. For the owners probably watching right now, you had a beautiful house, but beautiful home. Sarika definitely made it pop, and I know for a fact it's going to go a long way when we put the house on the market. So I want to thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
For all the realtors that are watching, homeowners that are watching, if you need home staging, Sarika, Luxe Home Staging, phenomenal job. The attention to detail she gives is some of the best I've ever seen in the industry. So once again, Sarika, thank you so much.
Very much
and I really look forward to using you on my next project as well.
Of course, my pleasure.
Thank you so much, guys.